On loud, everybody.
And then we'll do the females first, and then once we get to the male side, Mr. Florio's client.
Yes, sir.
All right, very good. All right. Go ahead and start. All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today is November the 25th, 2022. The time is 10:58 a.m. This is Clayton County Magistrate Court first appearance. My name is Judge Daniel Nagel. I'm going to go over some preliminary instructions with all of you before we take one of your cases individually. First, want to inform you that this is an informative hearing versus an evidentiary hearing. What that means is that this is not an opportunity for you to present any evidence or argue your case about why the charges against you are wrong, why they should be dropped, why there's a misunderstanding, what witnesses are going to say, and what evidence the law enforcement officers do not have against you and what you have for yourself. All right, this is merely an informative hearing. So I'm going to go over about 4 or 5 things with you, and then once I'm done, I will ask if you have any questions. So please be patient. Let me run through the things that I need to run through before you start asking questions, because sometimes there's a delay in the internet, and we don't need to be speaking over each other. So if you just be patient, let me go what I need to go over with you. I'll give you an opportunity to ask questions. The information that I'm going to be giving you is the nature of the charges against you. So I will let you know if they are felony charges, misdemeanor charges, or a mixture of both. Then if there is a bond that is going to be set, I will tell you the bond amount for each charge. Once I'm done telling you the bond amount for each charge, I will give you your total bond amount. Also, some of you may have special conditions of your bond. The most common types of special conditions are a stay away provision from a certain person. That's exactly what it sounds like. Stay away from them. You know, Instagram, Twitter, Kik, Skype, Facebook, LinkedIn, Hinge, whatever creative way that you think you can associate with this person, just don't do it, because wherever they are, you shouldn't be. And they should equal jail to you. So if you enjoy your freedom, I would highly encourage you not to have any type of contact with that person. Also, if you do have contact with that person, not only are you risking violating the court's order, which could end up with more charges against you, but a judge is going to be very hesitant to issue you a bond if you have shown a pattern that you can't pay attention to bond conditions as they already exist. The next type of special condition is a no violent contact. No violent contact means that you can have contact with that person. You can be around them. Just don't do anything that would make them think that some type of violence is going to occur. For example, screaming, yelling, kicking, cussing, punching at the air, throwing things, punching holes in the wall. If you feel yourself getting angry or about to do something violent, guess what? Be an adult, walk away, count to 10, leave the situation so you do not end up back in the Clayton County Jail. Another type of special condition is a stay away from a certain location. It could be a residence or it could be a commercial location. Just like the stay away from a person, just don't go there. It should be very easy for you to not go back because it's a whole location and you should know where it is. If you go back to that location, again, you are in violation of your bond condition and run the risk of catching new charges and ending up back in custody without a bond in the future, okay? If it is a residence in which you reside, and I say that you can't go back there, we will discuss how you can get your personal belongings. Typically what I do is I allow you to go back and get your stuff. However, you have to do it the legal and proper way, which means that you need to make arrangements with the Clayton County Sheriff's Department, and they will escort you there for your own safety and the safety of the community as a whole. You just can't pop up with the order saying that I can come and get my stuff, because guess what? You will be in violation of your bond conditions. Make sure you do it the right way so you do not get in any further trouble, and no one is going to say that you did anything against them, because the Sheriff's Department will be there with you. Next, I will go over your next court date, which is going to be your preliminary hearing date. For those of you with only misdemeanors, that will be December the 6th. For those of you with only felonies or some felonies and some misdemeanors, it will be December the 7th. If you bond out of jail, you will not need to appear for that court date. Okay, just make sure that your information is accurate with the clerk's office, so that way you do not miss your court date in the mail. If you are not out of custody by the time your preliminary hearing date comes around, you will have an opportunity to have your evidentiary hearing. That's where you will meet with your lawyer and you can discuss the strategies regarding the facts and circumstances of your case. They can also work with the DA's office or the solicitor's office on modifying your bond conditions and your bond amount. All right. But if you are not in custody, that hearing will not take place and you will get notified later on in the mail of your next court date. Lastly, I will go over with you whether you want to hire your own attorney, whether you want to represent yourself, which I do not advise anyone there to do, or if you want to have a court-appointed attorney. All of you were presented with paperwork for court-appointed counsel. If you did not fill it out, I can only assume that you want to hire your own attorney or represent yourself. You can change your mind later on down the road. If you want a court-appointed attorney now but want to hire an attorney later on down the road, that is perfectly fine. If you say that you want to hire an attorney now, but later on down the road, you realize that you can't afford it or circumstances don't allow for that, and you would like to apply for court-appointed attorney, that's also fine. You just need to make a decision now on what path you want to start down. If you did not fill out your form, then I have to ask you certain questions that, again, are being live streamed and recorded. So it's not too personal, but you had an opportunity to fill it out where I didn't have to ask you these things online, and you chose not to do so. At the end of that, I will ask if you have any questions. Keep in mind that if you want to discuss the facts of your case, now is not the time to do it. Keep it between yourself and your attorney. Because again, this is being live streamed and law enforcement can come back and watch this if they choose to do so. Some of you may have some or all of your charges dismissed. Just because the charges are dismissed now doesn't mean that they could not come back at a later date in time. There are various reasons for dismissing charges. Maybe they didn't include someone's name. Maybe they didn't include certain elements that they could easily have provided but didn't do so. It's not my job to figure out what they were missing and then supply it for them. So if I dismiss a charge, just know that it could come back. It's not a guarantee that it will. I'm not going to tell anybody to supplement their reports or bring it back. But I make my decision based on the information and the law as I know it that's in front of me. Okay. Please do not ask me questions about bond. For example, do not ask for a signature bond, an OR bond, a recognizance bond, or anything like that. Don't waste your breath or your time. I'm not saying that because I'm mean. I'm saying it. I have already reviewed everyone's criminal history. I've reviewed the facts of the case. I've taken into consideration similar situated individuals for the past year that I've been doing this. So no one is qualified or going to be given a OR or recognizance bond. So please do not waste your time and my time by asking me for it, because the answer is no. Also, I do not control how bonding companies work or the sheriff's department work. What I do know is that bonding companies typically, on average, charge somewhere between 10 and 20% for bond to get you out. So if your bond is, let's just say $1,000, 10% of 1,000 is 100. 20% of 1,000 is 200. You can do that easy math and figure out how much a bonding company would charge you in order for you to bond out of jail. All right. I do not control that. And again, that's just my experience as a practicing attorney for the last 10 years. I don't know what other requirements they're going to have for you. If you want to go through the sheriff's department directly, you will need to speak to them about their procedures. It's my understanding that you can use, your own funds if you have them and do it through the sheriff's department. Again, the logistics of how that works out, please don't ask me, because I don't control the sheriff's department, nor do I have any power to control outside bonding agencies. All right. So your question should be primarily limited to: what are the charges against me? What is my bond amount? Do I have any special conditions? If so, what are they? When is my next court date? Your choice for an attorney. And that's pretty much all I can help you with at this time. All right. Now, before we begin with the individuals, I need everyone's cooperation in raising their right hand, please. All right. Do you swear or affirm the statements that you will make shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? You can say, I do. All right. And then we will begin with the females first, just because we only have a few of them, and then we'll begin with the males. Please make sure that you speak loudly and clearly when speaking with me, okay?
L is the first one, ladies in the cell.
Wait a minute.
Okay. Ma'am, what is your name?
Tatiana Bell.
Okay. Ms. Bell, give me just a moment. Let me get your paperwork here. All right, Ms. Bell, you are charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. That is a misdemeanor charge. I am going to set a bond in the amount of $2,500. You are going to have a special condition of your bond to do not have any violent contact with Chandria Adams, okay? So you can be around that person, just don't have any violent contact.
Okay.
Let's see.
You don't want to swear.
All right. Your next court date is going to be on December the 6th, but if you bond out, you do not have to appear for that court date. You have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. What would you like to do?
Do I have to make the decision now?
Yeah, you can always change your mind later on down the road if you want to.
Okay, I'll do it for the attorney.
Okay. All right, I will grant that request for you. Are you going to be able to make your bond of $2,500?
Yes, most likely.
Okay, it's approximately $250 to $500, give or take a little bit based on the math that I just gave you, okay? All right, do you have any questions about your case?
No, sir.
Okay, all right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, what's your name, ma'am?
Jamaica Buckley.
All right. All right, Miss Buckley, you are charged with 1 count of battery. That is a misdemeanor. I am going to set a bond at $3,000, and 1 count of criminal trespass, which is also a misdemeanor. I'm going to set the bond at $2,000. So your total bond is $5,000. All right. You do have a special condition to not have any contact with Nora Harmon. Okay. Is that a relative? Okay. Do you live at the same address as Miss Harmon?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, then there's no reason for you to be around her until your case is resolved or the bond order is modified to where you can have any contact with her. Next court date is going to be on December the 6th, but when you bond out, you do not have to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint court-appointed attorney. What do you want to do?
Appointed attorney.
Okay. I will grant that request. Do you have any questions about your case?
No.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you. All right. What's your name, ma'am?
Emily Garcia.
Do me a favor and speak up just a little bit more, but I got it.
Okay.
All right, Miss Garcia. You are charged with 1 count of driving without a license. That is a misdemeanor. Your bond is $1,000. You're also charged with 1 count of DUI, less safe, which is a misdemeanor. The bond is $2,500. So your total bond is $3,500. Are you going to be able to make that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, then your next court date is on December the 6th, but if you bond out, you do not have to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney, or you can have court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do? Okay. Give me just a moment. That's why I can't hear anybody. My volume's down. You said you would like a court-appointed attorney. Is that correct?
Yes or no?
All right, give me just a second. All right, I will grant that request. Do you have any questions about your case?
No.
Okay, all right, good luck to you. All right, what's your name, ma'am?
Lila.
Oh, that man.
It could be Evans or Gray, whichever one, maybe.
Yep.
Brian.
I've got you, Miss Gray. Thank you.
Cool.
All right, give me just a second. Let me grab. Okay, Miss Gray, you are charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. It is a misdemeanor. I am going to set a bond at $5,000. Do have a special condition to not return back to 4233 Jonesboro Road, apartment H1. I'm assuming that's in Forest Park. And it looks like you had already had a criminal trespass warning, so just don't go back to that residence, okay? Somebody there, for whatever reason, does not want you there, so just avoid it, because you see where you end up when you go over there, okay? But if you do it again, not only is it a new charge, but it's a violation of this order, which is another charge, and you look at having your bond revoked on this case, and you look at them not sending a bond on the new charges. So just avoid that place like the plague. There's a great big world out there. Don't go back to that one specific location, okay? Your next court date is going to be on December the 6th, but if you bond out, you do not have to appear for that court date. You have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for court-appointed counsel. What do you want to do?
Court-appointed
Okay.
attorney.
Okay. All right. I will grant that request. Do you have any questions?
Are we allowed to dispute these charges after you've made your decision?
Absolutely. That'll be further on down the road, just not right here. Okay. Discuss that with your attorney, and they'll get you squared up on any possible defenses you have. Okay. All right. Anything else?
Okay. No.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you. All right. What's your name, ma'am?
Checker.
I'm sorry. Give me that name one more time.
Kimberly Tucker, but I think they have it down as Kim Huffman or Kimberly
Yes,
Huffman.
I got you.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, we've got several. I've got Tucker, Davis, Huffman. I got several for you. Okay. All right. Which name do you go by?
Tucker is my name. Kimberly
Got it.
Tucker.
All right, Miss Tucker, you were charged with 1 count of trafficking in violation of Georgia Controlled Substances Act. That is a felony. I am going to set a bond at $25,000. The remaining charges of possession of drug-related objects, those are all misdemeanors. The bond on those 3 are $1,000. So the total bond is going to be $28,000. Okay. Now,
Okay.
you do have a co-defendant that's here by the name of Randall Mercer. Okay. I'm making the special condition of your bond to not have any contact with him, because I don't know if you're the bad influence on him, he's the bad influence on you. When y'all get together, y'all are bad influences. I don't want you to tell me. But while this case is pending, I don't think it's a good idea for y'all to mix, because something happened, and you should probably just stay away from each other. So do not have any contact with that person, and his bond condition is going to say the same thing. So if he can hear me, just know that that's coming. Okay. Your next court date is going to be your preliminary hearing, and that's an evidentiary hearing. That'll be on December the 7th. But if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. Okay. Now you have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. What would you like to do?
Appoint one until I can possibly get my own.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
All right, I will do that for you, Miss Tucker. Do you have any questions about your case?
No, sir. Just what was my bond again? It's
The total amount
the
is,
amount?
yes, ma'am. It's 28,000. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Thank
Anything
you.
else?
No, sir.
All right. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Good luck. Good luck to you. All right, what's your name?
Tanya Richard.
Okay, Miss Richards, give me just a moment, please. Miss Richards, you were charged with one count of criminal trespass misdemeanor. The bond is $1,000, and one count of battery, which is a misdemeanor. I'm going to grant a bond of $2,500. How old is Ariel Woods?
She's 16.
15 or 16?
16.
Got it. Okay. All right. The reason why I asked, I was looking at the criminal trespass, and being a minor, I'm not sure if that's her phone or a phone that you bought for her, but you can discuss that with your attorney down the road. Okay. That being your daughter, I'm not saying that you can't have any contact with her. And I understand that, I have a 9-year-old and a 6-year-old, so I understand how kids can get rowdy sometimes, and you want to do the right thing by the parent and instill some discipline in them. But there's kind of a fine line between what's appropriate and what isn't appropriate. And again, discuss that with your lawyer down the road. Just be very mindful of that. You're the adult in the situation, and you want to instill good values in your children and show them how to handle things when they get heated in an appropriate manner. Okay. I'm not saying that you're a bad person. I understand how these things happen, but at the end of the day, you are an adult. And so you want to make sure that you act that way and show your children how to act that way. Okay. So just do not have any violent contact with her. No yelling, screaming, throwing things, punching holes in the wall. If you start to feel like things are going out of control, just walk away, or, figure out a productive way of handling it. Okay. The next court date for you is December the 6th, but if you bond out, you don't have to appear for that court date. You have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can consider you for a court-appointed attorney. What do you want to do?
A court appointed.
Okay. All right. All right, I will grant that request. Do you have any questions about your case?
No.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you. Please don't come back. Okay.
You said 3,500 though, right?
Yes, ma'am. 3,500. That is correct.
All right, thank you.
All right. No problem. And do we have the fugitive?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Let's go ahead and do that one. Her, the female.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Give me extradition paperwork. All right, ma'am, what's your name?
Kristen Icon.
Okay, give me just a moment. Because I have your first appearance is a little bit different than everyone else's.
Yes, sir.
I don't have it memorized, so I'm going to have to read it. Now, what is your actual last name, or what's the name you go by?
My married name is Acomb, and Hanshi was my maiden name.
Okay, Acomb. Got it. All right.
So Acomb is mine.
All right. I understand. All right. Good morning, Ms. Acomb. Again, I am Judge Daniel Nagel. This hearing is what we call an extradition hearing. A fugitive warrant has been issued for your arrest. You do not have charges pending against you here in Clayton County. You have been brought to court today because you have charges pending against you in, let me see here. Oh, warrant in Alabama. And that state is requesting that you are returned to answer for the charges of smuggling contraband inside of a prison. Okay. In accordance with the laws of the state of Georgia, you are brought before me for an explanation of this proceeding. You have the right to contest the legality of this warrant and all extradition proceedings, or You may waive your right to extradition proceedings and voluntarily be returned to the state requesting your detention. Before you inform me of whether or not you wish to waive extradition, let me explain to you the following rights. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed to represent you. If you desire to contest the legality of this extradition proceeding, then you must file or have filed on your behalf a writ of habeas corpus. You will be allowed a reasonable amount of time to file such writ. You may file a writ of habeas corpus to contest the extradition. The writ of habeas corpus can only contest the following things. Number one, whether the extradition document are in order on their face. Number two, whether you are charged with a crime in the demanding state. Number three, whether you are the person named in the request for extradition. And number four, whether you are in fact a fugitive. You cannot contest the issue of guilt or innocence in this state, in the state of Georgia, meaning you can't contest whether you're guilty or not here. That's for Alabama. You are entitled to the advice of counsel in deciding whether you wish to contest or waive extradition if you so desire. If you waive extradition, the state of Alabama will have 30 days to come and get you. If Alabama has not picked you up within 30 days, you will be released. If you contest extradition and the state is unable to extradite you within 30 days, you may be committed to the county for an additional 60 days awaiting your extradition. So let me recap that real quick. If you say you want to waive it, Alabama has 30 days to come and get you. If you want to contest it, they have 30 days, and then there could be an additional 60 for a total of 90, okay? Now, do you wish to waive extradition and be returned to Alabama, or do you wish to have formal extradition proceedings?
So the only thing that I would contest would be the actual charges, not what I remember, having, that's not the charge that I recall having
I
against
got
me there.
I hear you.
I don't, just staying here is going to help resolve any of that. So I believe that extradition is probably the wisest.
Okay,
choice
so
on
okay, so do you want to waive formal proceedings and just go ahead and agree to go back to Alabama?
there. That's probably gonna be the best thing, rather
Okay.
than to say, hey, that's what y'all charge me with and sit here and try to fight it from here. I think it'd probably be wisest to go there and do it.
Okay, all right. And are you making this decision freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Well, there is going to be some paperwork. I think there are 6 copies that need to be filled out by you saying that you wish to waive it. Go ahead and sign that, and then the sheriff's department will get it back to me. I'll sign it, and then once I sign it and return it back, the 30-day clock will start ticking, okay?
Oh, goodness gracious, okay.
It doesn't mean that it's going to take 30 days. It just means that they have up to 30 days.
Oh, their jail is not as bad.
I understand. Okay, all right. Do you have any
They're
other
all bad,
questions?
but it's not as bad. No,
I got
sir.
All right, all right. Thank you, Ms. Acomb. Good luck to you.
Thank you. All right.
All right. And I believe that's all the females that we have. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, very good. If y'all have Ms. Acomb fill out that paperwork and send it over, I'll get it signed and sent back.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. I'll give you just a second because we've got to go a little bit out of order. Mr. Florio, what's the name of your client?
Good morning, Judge. I represent Mr. Rodney Frazier.
Okay, very good. Sir, are you Mr. Frazier? Oh, nope, guess not.
Your Honor.
My boyfriend got hit by a driver on it. He was on a moped and he got hit by a driver. And I had to call 911 and they ran our name.
Mr. Frazier, come on.
And I had no ride to Alabama on my court date. Close to he was supposed to give me a ride there back to Alabama on that. And I was like, no, I could have done an Uber. I could have drove the bus.
Right there.
And now they're coming.
All right, sir, what is your full name?
Rodney Leroy Frazier Jr.
Okay, Mr. Frazier, I'm going to go over your charges with you, and then I'll let Mr. Florio make a statement if he wishes to on your behalf, okay? You are charged with 1 count of aggravated assault upon a public safety officer. That is a felony. 1 count of obstruction of an officer. That is a misdemeanor. 1 count of an open container violation, which is a misdemeanor. 1 count of driving while your license is suspended or revoked, that is a misdemeanor. Fleeing and attempting to elude. I don't, let me see. Mr. Florio, do you have whether that's a misdemeanor or the felony?
Judge, yes, Judge, they've accused it as a misdemeanor fleeing.
That's what I thought. Okay, that is a misdemeanor. Possession of a firearm during commission of a crime, which is a felony. Possession of a controlled substance in violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act, that is a felony, and 1 count of failure to obey sign, which is traffic violation, that is a misdemeanor. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 total charges. And before I go over your bond amount, let Mr. Florio make an argument or a statement on your behalf if he chooses to.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. Your Honor, I would draw the court to warrant number 2022 CW 55025. That's possession of a firearm during the commission of a crime or certain felonies. I've had a chance to review that warrant, Your Honor. I believe the allegation in that warrant is a misdemeanor obstruction. What the warrant alleges is that Mr. Frazier did flee on foot from a Fayetteville Sheriff's Office deputy, and subsequent to him having fled on foot, a search was conducted of the automobile in which they claim he was driving, and in the center console, a firearm was found. I believe in order to have committed the crime of possession of a firearm during certain felonies, he would have had to have committed a felony. And the allegation in this specific warrant, Your Honor, is misdemeanor obstruction. So for that reason, we would ask that the court not find probable cause and dismiss at first appearance possession of a firearm during the commission of a crime. With respect to Mr. Frazier, Your Honor, he's 28 years old. He graduated from Lovejoy High School. He was born and raised in Hampton. His mother, sister, entire family still reside in Hampton. He has 4 children. All of them also reside in the Clayton County area. And he works at Home Depot warehouse. He's been employed there for a number of years. When we discovered that these warrants existed for Mr. Frazier immediately hired me. He surrendered himself to the custody of the Clayton County Sheriff's Office last night. That was after he attempted to surrender himself Tuesday night and was turned away. So he's made multiple efforts to try to surrender himself to the Sheriff's Office. In addition, Judge, we've been in contact with the fugitive unit with the Sheriff's Office to make them aware that he was going to surrender. I've been in contact with officers of the Jonesboro Police Department with respect to this matter. So we've certainly done everything we can to address this matter heads on. We understand the serious nature of the allegation, that being an aggravated assault upon a police officer. Having said that, Judge, we would ask that bond be set. Mr. Frazier is not a convicted felon. He has never pled to a felony offense. He's never used first offender for a felony offense. And so he has his misdemeanor criminal history, but that would be it. And the majority of his misdemeanor criminal history, candidly, Judge, is just traffic related offenses, nothing of a serious nature. For those reasons, Your Honor, we would ask that that specific warrant be dismissed and that bond be set in this matter.
All right. Here's what I'm going to do. Mr. Frazier, on the failure to obey stop sign or traffic signal warrant ending in 5021, the bond is going to be set at $500. For the violent VGCSA warrant ending in 5026 is going to be $2,500. For the let me see. Possession of a firearm during the commission of a crime, I am going to grant Mr. Florio's request. I'm going to dismiss that as alleged, and also I do not see a nexus between possession of a firearm, and any other felony offense, whether it's the aggravated assault or the drug charge. So I'm going to dismiss it for lack of probable cause for those reasons. For the fleeing and attempting to elude, warrant ending in 5024, I'm going to grant a bond of $2,000. For the driving on a suspended license, warrant ending in 5023, I'm going to grant a bond of $1,500. Open container violation, I'm going to grant warrant ending in 5022. I'm going to grant a bond of $500. The misdemeanor obstruction charge, warrant ending in 5020, I'm going to grant a bond of $1,000. And for the aggravated assault warrant ending in 5019, I'm going to grant a bond of 10,000. So let me make sure I did my math correctly. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So my math has the total bond at $18,000. Is that the same as you, Mr. Florio?
Just 1 second, Judge. You're better at math than I am. Yes, sir. $18,000 total bond, Your Honor.
Okay, so your total bond is going to be $18,000. And I'm sure Mr. Florio will go over this with you, but make sure you get your license situation handled, sir. If you keep getting those, you're going to end up with a felony, and that's a silly reason to have a felony. And really, the misdemeanor version is worse because it's mandatory jail time, and nothing can be done about that. So, you know, get your license straight, and then continue to be a productive member of society. Your next court date is going to be on December the 7th, but if you bond out, you will not need to appear for that court date. That is your preliminary hearing date. It's December the 7th at 8:30 a.m. Obviously, you've hired an attorney in Mr. Florio, so that part is already taken care of. Mr. Frazier, do you have any questions about your case?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Florio, anything further on your end?
Nothing else, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
Okay, all right, thank you. I'll submit that dismissal with the bond paperwork after the first appearance hearing.
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. Good luck to you, Mr. Frazier.
Your Honor, that
Thank you.
concludes my business before the court this morning. May I please be excused?
You don't want to hang out with us, Mr. Florio? I guess. All right.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it.
All right, yes, sir.
I appreciate you.
All right, have a good one.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yes, sir.
You too, bud.
All right. All right, sir, what is your name?
James Arnold.
All right. Mr. Arnold.
Yeah.
Mr. Arnold, you were charged with one count of, let me make sure I got this right, abandonment. Initially, you had a bond set, but I'm just dismissing the charge against you. It doesn't look like law enforcement even took out a warrant. It looks like my guess is going to be the mother of your child. Okay, so they had what's called a pre-issuance hearing. You weren't there for whatever reason, and she presented evidence to another judge, and that judge is the one that signed the warrant. I'm making my decision based off the warrant information that I have in front of me. I wasn't there for the hearing. So I'm dismissing it. Now, I will say this, clearly there are some issues between yourself and the mother of your child, right? I would strongly suggest that you work those issues out, not because of her, but because you do have a child. And if that child is in fact yours, just do the right thing and be a good dad. That's all you got to do. Okay. You know, keep receipts and keep evidence. If you're taking care of this child, just keep evidence of it. It's not difficult, because I could see this continuing down the road if you don't do what it is that you should be doing as a father. Okay. So I'm dismissing it. As long as you don't have any other charges or anything that's going to hold you, you'll be free to go. Just give us time to work through all of these cases and get the paperwork signed. Okay. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, please don't come back. Okay.
All right.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Good luck. All right. What's your name?
Several board, sir.
All right. Give me just a second. All right, Mr. Boyd, you are charged with one count of battery family violence. That is a misdemeanor. I am going to grant a bond of $3,500. Now, you do have special conditions of your bond to not have any contact with Michelle Boyd. Also, you are not allowed to go back to 5640 Cypress Drive in Forest Park. Okay. Now, I understand that that's probably your residence. Do you have belongings there that you need to obtain?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. Well, then, like I said earlier, remember, I'm going to grant you the request of going back there. Just make sure that you go through the sheriff's department to get it. That way there's no issues between anybody at the residence and yourself. Okay. Once your case is finished, or you get your bond conditions changed, then you can either go back there or have contact, but don't do it until those things have happened. You have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. What would you like to do?
Well, I can't afford it right now because I'm on fixed income.
Okay,
I would like for you to appoint me one, sir.
okay, I got it. Are you currently employed?
No, sir, I'm retired, I'm on fixed income.
Okay, and do you have any children?
All mine grown, sir.
Oh, okay. All right. Have you ever served in the United States military?
No, sir, I have not.
Okay,
Tried to, but
I understand. I can appreciate that. All right, Mr. Boyd, then I'll go ahead and grant your request for a court-appointed attorney. Do you have any questions?
no, sir, I do not. How much that bond will be? You say 3,000?
3,500.
So that'll be like what?
Between 700 and 1,400, 10, 20%. Okay. All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Huh? All right. What's your name, sir?
Cody Bennett?
Mr. Bennett, you were charged with 1 count of criminal trespass, that is a misdemeanor, and 1 count of battery, which is also a misdemeanor. The bond on the criminal trespass is $2,000. The bond on the battery is $3,000. So your total bond is $5,000. Okay. You were not to have any contact with Shay Jones. Okay. So just don't have any contact with that person. Do y'all live together or no?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you live together at the Queen Alias Lane?
Correct.
Whose residence is that? Is it yours, hers, or shared?
It's shared.
Got it. All right. Do you need to get any belongings from there?
Yes.
Okay. Well, then I'll go ahead and grant you that request so you can get your things from there. But just like I told the other gentleman, make sure you do it the correct way and do it through the sheriff's department. Okay. Don't just show up, and they'll go with you to make sure that there's no issues between yourself and Miss Jones. Other than that, don't go back to that residence until your case is resolved or the bond conditions are changed. Okay. Your next court date is December the 6th, but if you bond out, you don't have to appear for that. Now you have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. What would you like to do?
Court appointed.
Okay. Let's see. All right, I will grant that request. Do you have any questions about your case?
No, sir.
Okay, all right, good luck to you, sir.
All right. We're gonna pay him now. What's your last name? Bloodworth. Bloodworth. You're the judge of last name.
What's your name, sir?
Bloodworth.
All right. Let's see. Mr. Bloodworth, you are charged with 1 count of DUI, less safe, which is a misdemeanor. The bond is $5,000. 1 count of improper lane change, misdemeanor. The bond is $500, and 1 count of too fast for conditions. The bond is $500. So your total bond is $6,000. Okay. Your next court date is on December 6th. But if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. What would you like to do?
I would like you to appoint one further.
Okay. All right. I will do that. Do you have any questions about your case?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you, sir.
All right.
All right. What's your name, sir?
Judge Campbell.
All right. Mr. Campbell. All right, Mr. Campbell, you're charged with 1 count of misdemeanor disorderly conduct. The bond is $1,500. Special condition is to not have any contact with Terry Fears. I don't even know if you know who that person is or not. Do you even know who that is?
No.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, then it should be very easy for you to stay away from that person, okay? Your next court date is December the 6th. But if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. What would you like to do?
Court date.
Okay. All right, I will do that. Now, do you have any questions about your case?
No.
Okay, all right, good luck to you, sir.
All right, thank you.
All right, what's your name, sir?
Mr. Glover.
All right. Mr. Glover. Mr. Glover, you are charged with 1 count of defective equipment. That is a misdemeanor. 1 count of DUI, less safe. Misdemeanor, the bond is $3,000. On the defective equipment, it's $500. 1 count of no insurance, misdemeanor, the bond is $1,000. 1 count of looks like invalid registration or invalid tag, bond is $500. And then driving without a license, bond is $1,500. So all misdemeanor charges. Your total bond is going to be, let me see, 35, 45, 5, 6,000, $6,500. Okay, that's your total bond. Your next court date is December the 6th. But if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. What do you want to do?
You can appoint one for me, young.
Okay. All right. I will do that. Do you have any question about your case at all?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, just make sure you get your license fixed, because if you keep doing this, it's mandatory jail time and eventually it's going to be a felony. All right.
One question. The charge that you said 500, do I still, if I go to the gun company, do I get to pay the percentage of the 500 too?
I think they'll just
Like,
look at everything. They'll just look at everything together. And so they'll do the percentage of the 6,500.
That's like 600.
Mhm.
600. So okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. No problem. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Your Honor,
Yes.
the next person needs the interpreter, Gonzalez. Were you able to get an interpreter, sir?
Yeah, I couldn't get one, so we'll need to, is it just one?
Yes, sir, just one.
Yeah, we'll have to move him to tomorrow.
That's fine. I understand the word.
Okay.
Your Honor,
Yes.
Understand.
say he understands a little bit. He wants to go through with it.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I'll make it easy on him. All right.
Okay.
Are you Mr. Gonzalez?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Your charge is criminal trespass. It's a misdemeanor. The bond is $2,000. Dos mil. Okay.
Okay.
Do not have any violent contact with Jessica Castillon. Okay, so don't get mad, don't yell, don't scream, don't do anything like that, okay? Your next court date is December the 6th, Diciembre 6. Okay?
Okay.
But if you bond out, you don't have to go to that court date, okay?
I need to pay my, I paid for that.
Yeah. If you are not in jail, you don't have to go to your court date, okay? All right.
Yes, sir.
Do you want to hire your own lawyer, or do you want a court lawyer?
Call lawyer, please.
Okay. All right, I will do that. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, so your bond is
No, sir.
2,000, dos mil, okay? All right,
sir.
thank you. Good luck. All right, what's your name, sir?
Nathan Helton, Your Honor.
All right. Let's see here. Mr. Helton, you were charged with 1 count of criminal trespass, which is a misdemeanor. I am going to set a bond at $3,500. Okay. You do have a special condition of your bond to not go back to 6142 Old Dixie Road in Forest Park. I believe that's the BP gas station. So whatever happened there is not good for you to go back. So just, there's a ton of gas stations. Just stay away from that one. Okay.
That's understandable. Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes,
Very
Your Honor.
good. Your next court date is going to be on December 6th, but if you bond out, you don't need to appear for that court date, okay? You have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. What do you want to do?
I'd like you to appoint one for me,
Okay,
Your Honor.
okay. I will do that for you. Do you have any questions about your case?
No, Your Honor. I do have one question. Does it, if you're already out on bond for a felony charge, does that interfere with that?
Well, maybe, right?
What if
Somebody-
that case was dismissed though? If that case was dismissed, so
let me break it down for you like this. If you have a current charge and you're out on bond and you pick up a new charge, the DA's office or the solicitor's office could say, hey, judge, this guy committed another offense. We want his bond revoked. Okay, whether they succeed or not, I have no idea. Or if they don't know about it, well, then they don't know about it. That's on them. Now, if your other case was dismissed, then you don't have anything to worry about because you're not on bond. The case is closed. So the prudent thing to do is once you make bond on this one, just don't pick up any more charges until this case is resolved. And then try not to pick up any cases in the future because every time you get arrested, it gets harder and harder to get a bond. Okay.
yes, Your Honor. Thank you so
All right.
much.
All right. Good luck to you, sir. Don't come back. All right. What's your name, ma'am?
Shelby Jenkins.
All right. All right, Mr. Jenkins. Mr. Jenkins, you are charged with one count of home invasion, which is a felony offense. The bond is going to be $50,000, and one count of aggravated assault, which is a felony offense. The bond is $25,000. So the total bond is $75,000. You do have some special conditions of your bond to not have any contact with Laura Hawkins and Raymond Hawkins. Now, I don't know if you actually know who those people are or not, because this is either something completely random or there's more to the story than what I know. Either way, just don't have any contact with those people, okay? Also, do not go back to 4624 College Street in Forest Park. It doesn't look like you live there, so you have no business being over there. Just stay away from that location, all right? Your next court date is going to be December the 7th for a preliminary hearing. If you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date, but if you don't, that'll be the next time you're in court, okay? You have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. What would you like to do?
At this time, you can appoint one.
All right. I will do that. Do you have any questions about your case?
Oh, sir.
Okay, all right, good luck to you.
Next up, Mr. Johnson.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Come out the camera from here, so walk it back from the
I'm here. Can I pull it?
Are you Mr. Johnson?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, Mr. Johnson, you are charged with a misdemeanor count of unlawful conduct during 911 call. It is a misdemeanor, okay? I am going to grant a bond of $2,000. Your next court date is going to be on December the 6th, 2022, but if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date, okay? Do you want to have a court-appointed attorney, or do you want to hire your own attorney?
I was hoping, wait, now I don't know how that works. I guess I'll see about getting my attorney. I thought I was having a heart attack, and
I understand. I hear you. But my question to you is, do you want to hire your own attorney, or do you want a court-appointed one?
yes, sir. I'll hire my attorney. I just
All
was trying to get heart condition under control. I thought I was having a heart attack.
All right, understood. All right, do you have any other questions?
No, sir.
All right, good luck to you, sir.
Oh, we're Johnson.
Okay.
That's what.
Oh, okay.
Next up. One more here, Mr. Johnson. Catch you down.
Oh, okay.
All right, what's your name, sir?
Jordan,
All right,
Samuel
Mr.
Jordan.
Jordan. Okay, gotcha. All right, Mr. Jordan, you were charged with one count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substances Act. Let's see if that's the felony version or not. Yep, that is a felony. The bond is going to be $4,000. You're charged with one count of open container, which is a misdemeanor. The bond is $500. You're then charged with one count of possession of a weapon during a commission of a crime and one count of possession of a firearm by a felon. I'm dismissing the gun charges against you because there's no evidence that the gun is related to the other stuff. So just because you have a gun and commit crimes doesn't mean that's automatic. That's not what the law says. And then also the only evidence that I have is says you're on a first offender probation status, so you haven't been convicted of it. So you can still legally have a firearm as far as I know. So I'm dismissing the gun charges. So your total bond is $4,500. Okay. Now, because you're on first offender, you know, that some things may get a little complicated for you, right? If they find out about these charges, but you can address that with a lawyer down the road. Your next court date is going to be on December the 7th for your preliminary hearing. You have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. What do you want to do?
Can you appoint one?
Sure. I noticed that you and a couple other people, y'all were writing in y'all's preliminary hearing date at Christmas. I would assume that you want to try to get out of here before then. So I'm going to put December the 7th. Okay.
All right.
All right. All right. I will grant the request for a court-appointed attorney. Do you have any questions about your case?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you, sir. All right. What's your name, sir?
Roy Joseph.
You were here yesterday.
Today, in some way, they put more charges against me yesterday.
I remember because you asked me, you have the 2-story house and you were asking for the no violent contact, right?
Yes, sir. The 6 kids, yeah.
Yeah, I remember because I looked at this and I was wondering why these charges weren't addressed yesterday. That doesn't make any
Right.
sense.
Exactly.
But here we are, Mr. Joseph. Here we are. Give me just a moment. Now, these allegations are a little bit more serious than the previous ones. So I do have to take that into consideration. All right. You're charged one count of possession of a firearm by a felon, which is a felony. The bond is going to be $10,000. One count of terroristic threats or acts, felony. The bond is going to be $5,000. And then one count of conspiracy to commit a crime, which is the felony. The bond is going to be $15,000. So the total bond on all of these charges is going to be $30,000. Now you already have from the previous charges of stay away from provision from Aisha Joseph, same thing here. And if I had seen these yesterday, I would have been like, nah, man, I'm not going to do a no violent contact, but it doesn't matter. We didn't do it anyway.
Yes.
So now, do you want to do the court appointed attorney? I can't remember if you asked for court appointed or a retained lawyer.
Yes, I did.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. I will grant that obviously again. And because they're back to back, I think that all of these charges should get sent to the right place all at once. That way you don't have 2 different cases in 2 different courts going on at the same time.
Okay.
All right. Do you have any questions?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
When I was arrested, I didn't have a weapon on me. I didn't have anything on me. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're going to have to.
I was just wondering where the gun charge came from and why is it sticking?
Yeah. Give me just a second and I'll tell you. It says that the firearm was located in the rear passenger floorboard in a white in color 2014 Kia Optima. And then it gives the tag and it says that you were the sole occupant of that particular vehicle. And it matched the description that there was a phone recording that they have, and it matched the description about what it should look like. Now, don't tell me anything about the car and whose car it is or who was in. Don't tell me anything about that. Save it for your lawyer. But basically, it says that you were in the car, that there's evidence that you went to go get a firearm. You were in a car with a firearm, and it matched the description given by someone. So for those reasons, I'm not saying that you're guilty beyond reasonable doubt, but there's enough there for me to find that there's enough for the charge to continue moving upward. Now, whether you beat that charge ultimately or not, I don't know, but you need to talk to your lawyer about it. Okay.
I understand.
All right.
Now,
Any
when
other
I,
questions?
yes, when I, this would be the first time I need to go to my house to get me my work clothes and my Suburban to get back and forth to work. Since I can't go to the home, I can probably sleep in the Suburban. And another thing, the first time that I've been out of my children's life, how do I retrieve them?
Go to you have to make an
I
appointment.
have two tennis players that I train, my kids. So, how do I interact with my kids, getting my kids?
You will make arrangements with the sheriff's department, just like I told everybody else.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thanks.
All right. Anything else?
That's it.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Joseph.
I'm sorry again. Did you tell me the total of the bond?
Yes.
Amount?
Yes. 30,000.
30,000. Okay, great.
Yes.
All right. Thanks.
All right. No problem. All right. What's your name, sir?
Randall Mercer.
All right. You were here with the other lady. All right, Mr. Mercer, you're charged with 1 count of trafficking, which is a felony. The bond is going to be 25,000. The other 3 charges are misdemeanors. The bond for each one is 1,000. So your total bond is going to be $28,000. Just like I told Ms. Huffman or Ms. Tucker, she's not to have any contact with you. You don't have any contact with her. I don't know who's the bad influence or if y'all are bad influences when you get together, but you're co-defendant, so you probably shouldn't be mixing with each other. That's not a good idea, so stay away from her. Your next court date is going to be on December the 7th, but if you bond out, you don't have to appear for that court date, okay? You have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. What do you want to do?
I want to have one appointed.
Okay.
Appointed.
All right, I will do that for you. Do you have any questions about your case?
Yeah, I was just wondering, I was trying to tell him that she had nothing to do with it.
Save it. That's fine. No, I hear you. You need to discuss that with your lawyer, and then she'll discuss her part with her lawyer as well. And then the lawyers will get together and figure that out. I hear what you're saying, but yeah, don't talk about it on the live stream. Okay.
All right.
All right.
What was the total?
28,000. All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Next up.
All right. What's your name, sir? Good.
Sherrod Morgan.
All right, Mr. Morgan, you are charged with 1 count of false imprisonment. This isn't the typical type of false imprisonment that I see. I'm not, my job isn't to agree or disagree or like the law the way that it is. It just kind of is what it is, right? I did take that into consideration though, and I did grant a bond of $5,000 just because it's not the typical false imprisonment that you typically think about.
Also, Judge, do you know that my mother passed yesterday?
Who is that?
My mother, Yona Walters.
Wait a minute. The same person that you're alleged to have committed the crime again passed away?
Right, she passed away. I'm not sure how or what, but I just heard.
Is that confirmed?
Yeah, it's confirmed.
Wait a minute. All right. Well, that is very unfortunate, sir. Because I mean, the incident with you just happened. And then in a matter of time, she passes away. That is not good. That is a string of what I would say is extremely bad luck.
Right.
Well, here's the thing, and I'm not trying to be funny, I'm being serious. Obviously I don't know that to be true, right? I mean, there's no way for me to know that. Nobody would tell me that, and I don't have a way of looking it up. And when I was going through and looking at the facts of your case and the circumstances and things like that, I have already made a determination. Now, with that being said, there's going to be a special conditions to not have any contact with this person. But if it is in fact, if your mother did pass away, number one, I'm sorry to hear that for you, but also there's no way for you to violate your bond condition. There's no way. I have on here that I don't want you to go back to that particular residence. However, just like I told everyone else, if you need to get belongings from there, then you can take the sheriff's department over there and go. And then you'll need to probably, I don't know if you have siblings or whatever the case may be, but if your mom did pass away, then you're going to have to figure that out through lawyers or whatever the case may be. Okay. Your next court date is going to be on December the 7th, but if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. What would you like to do?
Appoint me an attorney.
Okay. All right. I will do that for you. Do you have any questions about your case?
No.
Okay.
You say the bond is 5,000, right? The bond
Yes.
is 5,000?
That's right. That's right. Okay. All right. Good luck to you, sir.
All right, thank you.
All right. What's your name, sir?
Taylor.
All right. Mr. Taylor, you are charged with one count of simple battery family violence, which is a misdemeanor. I am going to grant a bond of $3,000. You are going to have special conditions to not have any contact with Letitia McCoy. Okay. Also, do not return back to 5032 Park Ave in Forest Park. If you need to get any belongings from there, that's fine. Just make sure you schedule it through the sheriff's department as indicated on your bond form. Don't just show up there. Your next court date is going to be on December the 6th. However, if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You have the right to hire your own attorney or have a court-appointed attorney. What do you want to do?
Court-appointed.
Okay. All right. Do you have any questions about your case?
No, sir.
I'm sorry? Okay. All right. Good luck to you, sir. All right. What's your name, sir? Mr. Weldon?
Mr. Weldon, yes, sir.
Okay, got it. All right. Mr. Weldon, you are charged with one count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substances Act. Let me see if this is the misdemeanor. Oh, yes, which is a felony. I'm sorry. The bond is going to be $5,000. One count of possession of a weapon during commission of a crime. I'm dismissing that charge because just like the other person, there's no, just because you possess drugs and a gun doesn't mean that they're related. It's two separate things. So I'm dismissing it. Another count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substances Act felony. The bond is $3,000. Possession of marijuana less than an ounce, misdemeanor 1,500, and no tag or expired or invalid tag bond is 500, which is a misdemeanor. So your total bond is 5 plus 3 is 8, 9, 10. So your total bond is 10,000. Okay. I have the dismissal here signed. You have the right to, your next court date is December the 7th, but if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can point one for you. What do you want to do?
I have one.
Okay, who is it?
I'm gonna be using Thomas Florio.
Oh, Mr. Flory, he was already here. All right.
Yes, yeah, I'll be using him.
Okay, well, very good. All right. Have you already talked to him, or you plan on doing that once you get out?
My mom, she spoke with him this morning.
Uh-huh.
She just literally had, I gotta go by there and sign some papers and take 2,000 to him. And that's all that we're waiting on.
I got you. All right. All right. Don't put Mr. Florio's business out there like that, man. Come on now.
I'm sorry, man.
It's okay. It's all right. That's between you and him. All right. Well, I'm going to mark down that you're going to hire your own attorney. Do you have any questions about your case?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you, sir. All right. What's your name, sir?
Mark White.
Okay, Mr. White. You are charged with one count of driving under the influence. That is a misdemeanor offense. The bond is going to be $2,000. Okay. Next court date is going to be on December the 6th, but if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. What do you want to do?
Appoint one for me for now.
Okay. Ooh, you're on the borderline. You're on the borderline of whether you qualify for an attorney, but I'm going to give you one anyway.
Thank you, sir.
Just because of the nature of the charge, and it carries mandatory. Oh, hold on. I'm trying to change the font. This is a misdemeanor. Because it carries mandatory jail time, so you need a lawyer. All right. Do you have any questions about your case?
With the mandatory jail time?
What about it?
Just to understand it of that.
If you are convicted of it, there is a mandatory jail time on a DUI. But that, I mean, we're not there yet. I have no idea whether you would be convicted or not. Yeah, but I just want to make sure that you have a lawyer because there is mandatory, you don't want to do that by yourself. You need somebody to look at your case for you, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank
You
you, sir.
should have Mr. Barnes.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Your Honor.
Okay, are you Mr. Barnes?
Yes.
Okay, and then do we have Mr. Kevin Barge as well or no?
No, Your Honor, he was already seen on first appearance.
No, I didn't. I've had first appearance the past 2 days, and on, let's see, today's Friday. Wednesday, they couldn't locate him at the jail. I asked about it, and they said they couldn't locate him.
I'll get him up here, Your Honor. He's not here
Okay.
right now, but I'll get him up here.
Okay, well, I mean, it can be done tomorrow, but if you can get him in the next 10 minutes, that's fine. All right, Mr. Barnes, let's do yours because yours is a little bit different. Like that other person's was a while back, okay? How do I minimize this? There we go. Give me just a second. Okay, here we go. Let me take a look at yours. All right. Good afternoon, sir. I'm Judge Daniel Nagel. This hearing is what is called an extradition hearing. A fugitive warrant has been issued for your arrest. You do not have charges pending against you here in Clayton County. You have been brought to court today because you have charges pending against you in North Carolina, and that state is requesting that you are returned to answer to the charges of homicide, concealment of a death. Okay, we're not here to address those charges, just whether you want to go back to North Carolina voluntarily or if you want to have a hearing. In accordance with the laws of the state of Georgia, you are brought before me for an explanation of this proceeding. You have the right to contest the legality of this warrant and all extradition proceedings, or you may waive your right to extradition proceedings and voluntarily be returned to the state requesting your presence. Before you inform me of whether or not you wish to waive extradition, let me explain to you the following rights. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed to represent you. If you desire to contest the legality of this extradition proceeding, then you must file or have filed on your behalf a writ of habeas corpus. You will be allowed a reasonable amount of time to file such writ. You may file a writ of habeas corpus to contest the extradition. The writ of habeas corpus can only contest. So these are the only things that you can fight or contest. Number one, whether extradition documents are in order on their face. Number two, whether you are charged with an actual crime in the demanding state, which would be North Carolina. Number three, whether you are the person named in the request for extradition. Or number four, whether you are in fact a fugitive. You cannot contest the issue of your guilt or innocence in the state of Georgia. You are entitled to the advice of an attorney in deciding whether to contest or waive extradition if you so desire. If you waive extradition, the state of North Carolina will have 30 days to come and get you. If North Carolina has not picked you up in 30 days, you will be released. If you contest extradition and North Carolina is unable to extradite you within 30 days, you may be committed for an additional 60 days awaiting your extradition. Do you wish to waive extradition and be returned to North Carolina, or do you wish to have formal extradition proceedings?
Yeah, you lost me there. I still don't understand it. Like you said, if I have to waive, I gotta go back to North Carolina.
So here's the deal. North Carolina wants you there because you're wanted, right? Now, I don't know whether you did it. Let me hold on. Let me explain it to you, okay? North Carolina has a warrant for your arrest and they want you there. They say that they're willing to come and get you. You could either A, say, I don't want to have a hearing, just send me to North Carolina, that's fine. If you do that, that's option number one. North Carolina has 30 days to come and get you. If they don't get you in those 30 days, you're a free man. Now, it doesn't mean that the charges go away. It just means that they're going to have to find another way to come and get you. Okay. That's if you voluntarily want to go back. If you say, no, I'm going to fight this. I don't know nothing about North Carolina. That ain't me, or I've never been charged, blah, 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 whatever. Right. Then you will have a formal hearing. Okay. And North Carolina will have 30 days to come and get you. But let's just say they need more time. Well, then they could get an additional 60 days. So that's 90 total days that you could be sitting in the Clayton County Jail waiting on your hearing and then to come and get you. I don't know which one is best for you. So you have to make that decision whether you want to say, all right, I just voluntarily want to go, or you say, no, I'm going to fight it. You're going to have to prove all of these things, or I want a formal hearing. So what do you want to do?
I just go because they had closed the case already, but I don't know why I've still got one.
I got you. Okay. Well, then there's going to be some. Now, let me ask you this question, because that's you saying that you want to waive, which is fine. If you're waiving, are you making your decision freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
Okay. All right. There's going to be some paperwork for you to sign saying that you waive. Once you sign it, it'll get emailed back to me. I'll sign it and then I'll send it back to the sheriff's department to process it. And that's when the 30 days will start ticking. Okay. All right. And then, all right. That's all. We're good. Good luck to you, sir.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Your Honor, Mr. Barge is coming up shortly, about 2 minutes.
Okay, no problem. I'm gonna turn off my camera and microphone, but I'll be sitting right here. So when he's here, I'll be ready to go.
Yes, sir.
You don't know what housing you did? I know, I haven't know
Never know now.
Come on. Is he beside me? Nope.
Oh, yeah?
Larry Ron Road. Go all the way to, that's all. Go all the way to the end of the hallway. All the way after you can't go no further. First, last door in the right. And the microphone.
All right, what's your name, sir?
Kevin Barge,
Okay,
senior.
got it. Mr. Barge, you're supposed to appear on Wednesday, but they said they couldn't find you. And then yesterday, I don't know what happened, but I wanted to make sure that we got you today because we needed to get you within a certain amount of time. Mr. Barge, you are charged with 1 count of felony murder. That is obviously a felony. I am not going to grant a bond on that charge. Your next court date is going to be on December the 7th at 8:30 a.m. for a preliminary hearing. That will be an opportunity for you to speak with an attorney. And if you want to have an evidentiary hearing, meaning have the state prove certain elements beyond probable cause, then you'll be able to do so, okay? You can also that'll be an opportunity for your lawyer as well to potentially work out a bond for you or some other type of arrangement with the district attorney's office. You have the right to, well, let's see. Did you fill out an application for a lawyer already or no?
No, sir, but I've been to court once before, and they appointed me a public defender. Her name is Demore, but I haven't talked with her or anything. I keep calling her, but I can't get through with no. Now they blocked my call.
I see. Is it relating?
Well,
Is it related to this case? Okay, so I see what happens. So what it looks like happened is they took out warrants for you. Then this is an additional warrant that they just took out, but it's related on the same case. So I see what happened now. What's that?
That's why they say I was supposed to come back for a bond hearing in 90 days, and it's been 4 months now, and I don't have a bond hearing or anything.
I see.
Haven't had one.
I see. Okay, well, you know, obviously I can't control that, unfortunately. I'm just here as on first appearance, okay? But you know, You already have an attorney, so that's a moot point. I'll do, if there's anything that I can do to make sure that they get in touch with you, then I'll obviously do that, okay? But just know that I'm limited in what I can do, Mr. Barge, unfortunately, okay? Do you have any questions about your case?
Yes, sir. On the 7th, will I be coming? Will Mr. Moore be my lawyer, or? I come back in front of 7?
Yeah, I don't know because basically your case is split up into two different parts, right? There's the part that's already been handled, and then there's this part. So on December the 7th, I don't know which particular attorney from the public defender's office will be there, but it may be the one that you mentioned. I don't know their names, but it may be, just because that kind of makes sense. But again, I don't know because I don't control that. But this is what I do know. On that day, you will have someone from the public defender's office, and they don't have a choice but to be there and talk to you. Okay. So at the very least, you've got about a week and a couple days before you can actually get in touch with someone, and they can't refuse your phone calls and hide from you then. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Is there anything I need to fill out today?
I don't think so, just because you already have a public defender. But if there is, they'll get you to fill it out on December the 7th, because I don't have a court appointed form for you. So they'll get you one on December the 7th. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Any other questions?
No, that'll be all, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Barge.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. No problem. All right. That's all that I have.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Thank y'all. Y'all have a good rest of the day.
You too.
All right.